Over to Fitz.
Okay. Thanks, Mayor. Actually, we talked a little bit about this, I think the council members might remember, at one of the more recent council meetings. And we've been working on this project for, I guess, probably a year now. It's been a cooperative project between our Information Technology Division, our Oshkosh Media Division, and also it's expanded to the entire city. And the idea behind it is to try to provide a citizen engagement tool so we can communicate and connect with the community a little more easily and also become more efficient from a response perspective. And without going too deeply into it, I think it would be better if I just let Tony Newman talk about the project and where we're at. He's, I think everyone here knows him, but for those people that are watching on television or listening, he's our information technology manager. So, Tony?
Okay, welcome. I'm rather excited to show everybody the SeeClickFix app. It was soft introduced to the public on April 12th. Essentially, it's intended to be a new tool to improve quality of life and encourage civic participation, get the community to help show us what we're not seeing. It's going to be a great way for them to communicate with the city staff, point out issues that need remedying that the city staff may not even be aware of. It's a valuable tool. It's free for download on the Android Play Store and on iTunes. All you have to do is search for Connect Oshkosh and it will show up as the first app in the list. Little background, as Fitz had indicated, this was a collaborative effort amongst many departments. We had a committee pulled together. We talked about all the potential service request types that we wanted to talk about, which was going to be a short list, but it turned out to be a list of 28 different service request types. We worked with everybody, including Oshkosh Media, Parks and Forestry, Public Works, Street Sanitation, Transportation, Electric, Signs, Water Distribution, and Inspections. So it's a pretty good comprehensive list of all the public-facing services that we wanted to make sure we addressed and not leave anybody out. The nice thing about the application is that it can be ever evolving, so if we see gaps or we see overlap, we can expand and contract as necessary to make sure that we're meeting the needs of the citizens as a whole.
Tony, can I ask a question?
Absolutely.
You do all of that here? We don't have to go anywhere outside for that? Our IT department can handle any additions or changes we have to make?
You bet. The initial framework was actually set up within about 2 hours.
Wow.
That was after many hours of departmental meetings to discuss the refinement of the questions we wanted to ask when it came to each service request type to make sure that each service request was vetted properly and routed to the right department. Because there are some that on the front end don't seem like it goes to a certain department, like a good example is dead animals. And where that dead animal actually is, whether it's on the private property or public property. So we had to discuss all of these possible scenarios and figure out how to best handle each of the situations.
And I think, you know, Tony kind of structured this presentation to try to provide just a brief introduction, a little video, and then talk about some of the specific service requests that he worked on with the groups. And then we can kind of talk about where we are comparatively to other communities in terms of the use of this product, and then get into any questions that we might have.
That's a perfect segue, because the first thing I'm going to show is actually the very short video that SeeClickFix presents as its very high-level overview of the product.
And I could just say one thing about this app too. I actually signed up for SeeClickFix 3 years ago. There were some things around, but at the time, obviously, our city wasn't with that. But the interesting thing is that every couple of months, I would get an email from SeeClickFix asking me if that issue had been resolved. So it's got this wraparound tracking.
Right.
It's really, I think, that goes a lot to building confidence that the issues are being dealt with.
Would we be able to attach to that, like in the winter when we get those road reports from the Public Works, would that be able to be connected to that too? Or would that have to be a separate, like people have to sign up now and get that email? Could that be part of that?
Potentially, we could wrap into that. I'll get into that when I get to the app itself.
Okay, okay.
So you might see an opportunity or at least a slight blending of the two.
Okay.
Methods.
Because I really like that. I think that's a great feature,
Yep.
getting those reports from Kevin at the street
And
department.
we can even expand more on Lori's comment once we get through this.
Okay.
I think it'll be helpful.
All right.
We care deeply about our communities. So when something is broken on our street, we want it fixed quickly. Knowing who to call and having the time to call them can be really frustrating. On the other side, managing these concerns along with daily workloads takes time and a lot of internal communication. So much so that the concerned citizen often gets lost in the shuffle. This results in a bad service experience and a discouraged citizen. It doesn't have to be this way. With SeeClickFix, citizens can easily submit concerns from their smartphones, the town website, in person, or over the phone. These concerns are then sent automatically to the right official with the right information to get the job done. Town officials are then able to manage the assignment, communication, and resolution around these issues, keeping the citizen in the loop the whole time. Finally, this data helps the government to run an efficient organization, tracking work, activity, and successful exchanges so that when management meets with council, they are able to have a better informed discussion, leading to better decisions. SeeClickFix. Better communication, stronger communities.
So that was the overview video that is provided by SeeClickFix, which actually is a perfect segue to the actual application, which I actually have my mobile phone displayed up there. I've already downloaded the app. So when you launch the app, after you've downloaded it, you initially get the splash screen. And then you get a full customizable menu that we push out to all the SeeClickFix app users. So we can actually define each of the menu options that show up here. They don't have to be related to SeeClickFix in any fashion. So to Councilmember Herman's question, we could put the news, that snowplow news release as a link on here.
Okay, good.
You could also put, right now we have events, Facebook, Twitter, all our websites, and Go Transit on there. Obviously that can be expanded.
Is there a cost to people to get the app?
There is absolutely no cost. It is free in both the Android store and the Apple's iTunes store. So when you've got the app open, you open up to the menu first of all. If you open along the bottom tray, the second icon from the left, you'll actually see the current issue list. And it's very pleasantly been growing, which means people are starting to use it even though the media push has not been that heavy yet. So people are catching on. There's been a lot of very good feedback put out here already, and you'll notice that most of the service requests are already closed. They've been responded to in a very timely fashion. As you scroll down the list, you'll actually see the issue status, a brief description of where and what, and then how many comments and how many likes it has, because it is somewhat of a social media platform at the same time. If you have a neighborhood that is ganging up on a specific pothole that swallowed a Yugo, they're all going to get on there and like that service request. Oh, can't move my phone while I'm doing that. The icon in the system tray at the bottom that's on the far left actually allows you to initiate a service request. It's that little circle with the pencil. So when I bring that up, you could first take a picture or choose a picture from your mobile device to actually illustrate the issue. Right below that is a map where you can use your current location, or if you had to wait till you got somewhere safely to stop and do this on your mobile device, you can do that. Once you select your current location, you can then choose your service request type in the drop-down. Again, they're all predefined so that we can actually notice if there are duplicate reports in the event that somebody brought up a service request and didn't notice that there already is one for that area. You choose the specific service request type you have, and depending on what you choose, there may be some supplemental questions. Those are the questions that help route it to the appropriate department to respond in a timely fashion. So the one that I used as an example, which was dead animal, it then asks you, where's the dead animal, public property or private property? Now the drop down is easily selected. Then you can either report anonymously by checking the box, or you can submit and it will use your contact information that you registered your Connect Oshkosh app with. You can submit things anonymously even though you are logged into the Connect Oshkosh app.
What is the post to neighbors? I didn't quite get that far along in the app. What is-
Post to neighbors is neighboring communities that also has SeeClickFix. It will also put it on their feed, especially if it's an area that's very close to bordering two municipalities.
Okay. So we potentially, if town of Algoma also instituted this, there might be a.
There could be overlap.
Right, and I think it's a good feature for the future. Based on our research right now, I think there are only a handful of communities in the state of Wisconsin that use this. I don't believe there are any in northeastern Wisconsin that use this technology at this point, but in the future, I think it'll be good to have that feature.
And the large municipalities that have embraced this in other areas of the nation, it is slowly creeping out because the usability is there. People are gaining some sense of effectiveness with it. And I see it growing. I think it'll be a very beneficial resource.
So the other thing too, I could see like if we were to go and let's say in the future have another citywide visioning where we had the visual preference surveys, I could see that they could actually use actual data and photos from this. I am assuming there's some kind of portability or import or export of the data from here to other uses. Is that correct?
Yes, yes. There is full reporting, there is full metrics within the back end of this, and there is full exportability.
Okay. And how are we promoting it? Is it on our website currently?
Right now, it is on our website. A press release went out on April 12th.
Okay.
It is on the homepage of the city's website, which I will bring that up next.
Couple TV stations that
Yep.
picked it up.
Okay,
Right.
I just
Story on
making
it.
sure our citizens know about it.
I think it's gonna be an ongoing thing, because, you know, it takes
Sure.
a while for people to
Oh, yeah.
Bring
get
up the city
accustomed.
website. The first link is Connect Oshkosh, right in the
Okay.
hot topics for now.
Good.
Additionally, if you go to citizen input, we added a line on the top of here that says service-related issues. You can go to Connect Oshkosh, and it'll take you right to the Connect Oshkosh link, so that you can, rather than inputting it here, actually initiate a service request.
So where does this right now, Tony, currently go, the screen you were just on, the input, where does that currently get directed?
That gets directed to me,
Okay.
and then I take and look at the context of the issue, and then route it to the correct department head.
That's why Tony likes SeeClickFix so much.
Yeah.
I do too.
Takes
Tony
a
has a
little
lot
off
of
my
things to
plate.
do. Tony has a lot to do.
So both of those, this is the web-based portion.
But the
of
volume we were
Connect
getting there, Tony, excuse me, the volume we were getting off of that, because you normally copy me when you
Yes.
send it out. Couple
Minimal.
a week. It's
Yep.
not a lot. This
I'd say 2 to 3 a week tops.
Yeah, and this has been, you can see we've had a lot more volume on this than we've ever gotten from that Connect thing. So that's a good, and we're just getting started, so I think that's a positive thing.
All right.
And you're gonna see a good visual in just a second. Right here, which is where quite a few people have actually reported their issues, is on this web form here. But if you click on the Issues tab, you'll actually get to see a hotspot map of all the issues that have been reported. So now we can zoom in because some of them are overlapping. The ones that have alphabet on them are recent, within the last week. The blue dots are ones that are past a week old already. Red is open, green is, I believe green is acknowledged, and blue is closed. We want to see blue. And guess what? We're seeing blue.
I noticed when we were looking at the list, so, it'll show that it's closed, but is there a place that someone can actually see how it was?
I like your question. Every one of them has the full trail. You can click on it, and you will then see everything that has transpired on that service request. This one being a pothole was rather bland, but I know that there is one from Parks that is a little more entertaining.
Time, the date, the comments.
Because I believe that was the broken slide, yes.
Yeah.
So that one's got a little more verbiage behind it. And that is, there they informed them that a new slide has been ordered.
So, do all of our departments have some kind of, acknowledgement message or?
We have a number of pre-canned messages defined just to make the consistency there. However, there is refinement if it is more of a pointed and specific resolution or acknowledgement. There are some, if I can bring up another one here, there was one that was a little more specific.
Could we ask that departments give some kind of estimated time frame? So like here, for example, or the one on the parks that said, we're in the process of ordering a slide. Could we ask departments to give an estimation as to when we think it will? Because I don't consider that closed. I
would
consider
agree.
that addressed, but not closed.
Okay?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I would even go far as saying it's really only acknowledged. Yep, we got a slide. It didn't say to me that the slide, maybe the slide had already been ordered. It's like, it was easy to answer because, well,
Yeah.
heck, we knew it was bad. You know, we've already been made aware of it. We're ordering the slide. I started in Public Works dealing with service requests, so this is kind of, I like this
Well, maybe
stuff.
even a follow-up to that would be, and we will kind of let you know when the slide is put in. Maybe we don't know how long it'll take to get the slide.
Sure.
But then we, the response back is a week later, the slide has been installed at such
Yeah.
and such a date.
Because who has the power to close this out? That department?
That, the responsible department.
We've got a responsible person for each category. So this would be a parks issue, so that's probably Chad Dahlman is the person who makes the call whether it's closed or not. So a cemetery would be Bill Sturm, for example.
But I think you make a good point, Councilmember Palmieri, and because we've just started this, I think we're gonna need to
It's new.
refine it.
Yeah.
But I think you're right. I think we need to work together. Tony's also monitoring all these and providing assistance. I know I was involved in a few that I participated in, so we're gonna have to work through this. But I think it really holds a lot of potential
Absolutely.
for us and for the community.
We really tried to define what
And for
we
the
know.
staff.
The question is what we don't know.
Right.
Right.
And that's
Yeah.
what we're learning now.
And the other thing that's kind of neat, and I think Tony just touched on it, is the staff are really excited about this. At first, I think there was some concern that, can we respond in a manner that's going to be timely enough? Is it going to be more pressure for us? Is someone going to get on SeeClickFix and just give us a hard time? There was a little concern, right, Tony, I think initially, but the more we talked it through, the more we were able to set up, I don't know how many service examples. What do you have, like
28.
28 specific examples that the teams brainstormed? And I think they're excited because I think they believe that it'll be a vehicle for us to communicate and resolve things more efficiently, as kind of the video talked about.
Yeah, the departments were especially encouraged when they saw how easy the information flow from each level was, from the person that actually takes the quote-unquote complaint to the person that actually assigns somebody to resolve the complaint to the person that's actually resolving the complaint.
Okay.
And the reportability that we're gonna be able to have from this too, I
The
think is,
tracking's phenomenal.
right?
The best part of this is you call on the phone and you're trying to describe something to somebody in the assessor's office for a cemetery issue. This way, if it's a cemetery issue, it goes to Bill Sturm at the cemetery.
Right.
So it automatically funnels it to the right person. Because folks are trying to get a hold of us all they want is somebody to help them. And they call a number and they may or may not be at the right number. This way, they get right to the direct person who can deal with that.
Another cool feature that Mark is kind of alluding to too is, not everybody's present all the time at their desk or answering the phone. Whenever somebody sees an issue, they can see it, they can take a picture of it, they can send it to us, and we'll have it, and when they're there, they can respond to it as soon as possible, rather than them having to wait for the person to be present to talk to them on the phone or
And
or
like
whatever.
right now, 5 to 6, who's answering the phone? And it's daylight,
Right.
they can take a picture. 8 next morning, some person shows up, it's there. Well, there's the ones that came in overnight.
Right.
Boom, boom, boom. They get them.
Okay,
Shut
in the absence of the mayor, who had to leave to get ready for a meeting, if any council members have any further questions after they download it or get a look at it, I downloaded it during the presentation, so it's very easy. So,
And absolutely, I encourage everyone to talk about it, to get the awareness out there that it's available.
sure. So if you have questions, contact Tony in IT or Fitzy in HR and
Right.
get your questions answered. And if you have ideas and suggestions, make sure you get them out to Tony. All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Just notice.
The Oshkosh Common Council is currently in a break. For a schedule of all GovTV programming, visit our website at oshkoshmedia.org. This is GovTV, opening accessibility and understanding of local government, helping you to be informed and involved. Also streaming live and on demand at oshkoshmedia.org and radio simulcast on Oshkosh FM 101.9. Like us on Facebook at our Oshkosh Media page. For a schedule of all GovTV programming, visit our website at oshkoshmedia.org. Please stay with us. Coverage will resume shortly. The Oshkosh Common Council is currently in a break. For a schedule of all GovTV programming, visit our website at oshkoshmedia.org. This is GovTV, opening accessibility and understanding of local government, helping you to be informed and involved. Also streaming live and on demand at oshkoshmedia.org and radio simulcast on Oshkosh FM 101.9. Like us on Facebook at our Oshkosh Media page. For a schedule of all GovTV programming, visit our website at oshkoshmedia.org. Please stay with us. Coverage will resume shortly. The Oshkosh Common Council is currently in a break. For a schedule of all GovTV programming, visit our website at oshkoshmedia.org. This is GovTV, opening accessibility and understanding of local government, helping you to be informed and involved. Also streaming live and on demand at oshkoshmedia.org and radio simulcast on Oshkosh FM 101.9. Like us on Facebook at our Oshkosh Media page. For a schedule of all GovTV programming, visit our website at oshkoshmedia.org. Please stay with us. Coverage will resume shortly.